What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Roll Tide Cafe, a part of the Bama Standard Network. We got some exciting news coming out of the networks today, as it looks like Alabama is going to be trending in crystal ball for another five-star cornerback in the 2026 class. Talking about five-star cornerback Jorden Edmonds out of Marietta, Georgia. I want to go over some basic information, pros, cons, his physical traits, and stuff like that, and what I think Kalen Deboer has done a really good job of since he's been in Tuscaloosa. So with all that being said, and making this a fairly short video, let's go ahead and jump into this. Like I said, Jorden Edmonds is a five-star cornerback in the 2026 class, according to ESPN, 24/7, and a multitude of others. Here he is out of Marietta, Georgia. He stands, this is what's impressive to me, 6'2.5", and 175 pounds. Sound familiar? A slightly shorter version of Dijon Lee when you consider the length this guy has and go watch him on film. It is outrageous, the length he has. He is the number one cornerback in this class, and he's the number 10 player nationally, according to 24/7 Sports. The three main contenders, from what I've been following and from what he's been talking about, is Alabama, Tennessee, and Georgia. But he did get crystal ball to Alabama, by a multitude of networks. I believe still Steve Wiltfong has him like 60% Alabama, something like that. And a multitude of others have put him at 100%, according to 24/7 as well. Now some traits, some good and bads and all that good stuff. He is considered a boundary corner who will dominate one whole side of the field. When you consider the length and you go watch his film in the schemes he's been in, he pretty much dominates one whole side of the field, right? He's 6'2.5". He's very fast. He has very fluid hips, quick twitch. He can play on, off man. He does strive in off man coverage for sure. That's where he shines the best, in my opinion, and from what a multitude of other networks have said as well. But you can't take away from the fact that, look, his zone looks good. He plays other positions. He plays wide receiver, which seems like a multitude of these guys that play corner also play wide receiver, which does nothing but help their game, right? High pointing the ball, stuff like that. It seems like if you're a corner, it kind of helps to know where a wide receiver will track in his routes. Has extremely good length, has lengths very comparable of Dijon Lee, and we've already seen him right through since he stepped on Tuscaloosa through these practices. The length has shown it's there. It's going to help. He's taken over one side of the field already. And when you consider you bringing in Jorden Edmonds, and he could possibly do this to the other side in the very next class, you have to be excited if you're an Alabama fan, knowing the defense, especially the back end, the secondary has struggled the past couple of years. Kane Wommack and that defense definitely did a great job last year of improving week to week. But we know it can get better. And when you're talking about Dijon Lee on one side, you're talking about Jorden Edmonds on the other side, you're talking about the length taking over a whole side of the field, and you're talking about the back end with the freeze and the strong safeties, right? And everything else mixed in with this. I'm extremely excited for this defense when you're talking about just adding somebody like this to it. He was named Alpha Dog at the Navy All-American Bowl game. His metrics, if you go look at his combine metric, they're astronomical, right? This dude's going to be drafted in the first round, possibly based off of combine metrics alone, right? So when you look at his 40, his 20 cone, everything else, it's extremely rare to see this kind of speed, quick twitch, stuff like this for his size, and then playing cornerback and understanding the game. He knows this well. It's scary what he could be at Alabama under the right coaching for sure. Like I said, can flip hips with ease. He excelled in multiple schemes, playing multiple coverages. Like I said, excels in off-man coverage and fights hard for position and rarely gets beaten to the catch point. High points the ball well, fights with his hands, fights for positioning on the ground physically. Even though he's only 175 pounds, does a great job of that. But with that being said, Jorden Edmonds looks like he will be in Tuscaloosa. Crystal ball, right? Nothing's for sure. And even when they get on campus, I already know I'm going to hear it in the comments. It doesn't mean they're going to stick. This NIL thing it's going all the way through the offseason. You're going to hear about it consistently. But either way, I have to give Kalen Deboer, I have to give Kane Wommack, I have to give these guys credit, right, where it's due. And the defensive recruiting, specifically on the back end, the defensive backs and the freeze, strong safeties, right, and the wolf position, whatever you want to call them, it's been extremely impressive with Kalen Deboer so far. There hasn't been much of a drop-off, if any, from Nick Saban to this. I get it. A lot of people are going to say Dijon Lee was Nick Saban's recruit. It was Kalen Deboer's responsibility to hold him. Right? It was Kalen. We saw Caleb Downs. We saw others leave. Dijon Lee came. He signed to play for Kalen Deboer now. He's still there, plain and simple. When you talk about now bringing in Jorden Edmonds, this solidifies what this staff and what this team is going to be in the future, right? Alabama is not going anywhere. Now, they may not win at the rate Nick Saban won at because, look, there was only one Nick Saban. I'm not going to compare Kalen Deboer to Nick Saban. I'm not going to say he's doing as good of a job recruiting. I'm not going to do any of those comparisons because it's unfair and it's too early in his career, period, at this point. But I will say this. Getting Jorden Edmonds, getting Dijon Lee to stay, getting these cats that they're getting in these recruiting classes, pretty impressive. I'm going to have to give it to Kalen Deboer, give it to the staff now, bringing Ryan Grubbs back from Seattle, obviously supposed to be here last year, ends up leaving and going there, just to be, I guess, fired at Seattle, comes back to Alabama, re-signs with us. Hopefully we have great things coming on the offense in this upcoming season. That's for a whole different video. Either way, congrats, the University of Alabama. Hopefully this sticks through. Hopefully he does sign on the letter of intent. All right. Nothing's for sure until it's inked on the paper or faxed or however it's done these days. Either way, everybody have a good day. And as always, roll tide.